Hey guys, what's going on? It's Obez here, back again, this time with a Player of the Month Dominic Calvert-Lewin review. We're going to look at his stats, look how he performs in game, and ultimately justify whether he's worth the price tag, which I believe at the moment to be about 60,000 coins. So let's get right into it and start looking at Dominic's in-game stats. So first things first, looking at his pace, I mean for a man of 6'2", that's pretty good. His feet looks quite quick. He's got great attacking positioning, good finishing, good shot power. His long shots are looking a bit weak at 70 there, but all in all some pretty good shooting stats. His short passing looks decent enough, his long passing looks really weak though. Good reactions, good ball control, he's pretty agile for a guy of that size, but his balance and composure are looking quite weak as well. Looking at his defensive stats, and the only one that matters is head and accuracy, and that's great. He's got great jumping, especially when he's already 6'2", 95 jumping's fantastic. And he's got decent stam and decent strength as well. 3-star, medium high. I've seen a lot of people complain about that, but I really don't think 3-star weak foot matters this year anywhere near as much as it did last year. I've still scored a lot of goals with his left foot. Jumping into the gameplay now, and the main thing I noticed about this card straight away is he does finish everything. He's great in front of goal. He's pretty quick for a big man, and once you do get him in behind with an opportunity to shoot, if he does get to pull that trigger, then it more often than not is ending up in the back of the net. He puts pretty much all the decent chances away. I've not really had a shot with him that I'd expect to go in where he's missed. The key thing I'd say with this card is you've got to play to his strengths, and if you use him in the right way, then he will be really, really effective for you. You've got to use him as what he is, a hold-up man, a big striker. You've got to use that L2 shield button, get it into his feet, make him hold him up, hold the defender off, lay it off to someone and then get in the box. If you just stick to the short passes, don't overcomplicate it, keep the ball with him and just create the chances, then he'll be exactly what you need. Another massive strength of this card is his aerial play. I mean, looking at his height and his jumping, you would expect nothing less really, but he does win most, if not everything in the air. It takes a pretty decent defender to be beating him in the air. He scores a lot of headers, scores from a lot of corners, as we'll see in these clips. Another part of his game that I've noticed is really effective, which, especially this young figure 21, seems to be really OP, is his flick-ons from a goal kick. You can turn a goal kick into an attacking opportunity with a player like this, because that one flick-on, the winger's in, and then he's following up the rebound off the cross. Another thing I have noticed is his high stam does come into play. You don't really notice him getting tired towards the end of games. He's still running. I think that's quite important with a player like him. If you've got a striker who's exhausted by the 60th minute, he's pretty useless, especially when he's that sort of player. So his good stam does definitely come into play, and it's a good part of his game. So yeah, in summary, if you use him as your target man, play to his strengths, get him to win those flick-ons, get him into good positions where he can take a shot, then I think he's going to be a really effective striker for the early part of this game. Especially for the sort of first weekend league, I definitely think as a finisher he's up there with the better players in the Prem, especially at that price. Moving on now to maybe look at some of the downsides of his game. The big thing I noticed is his long passing, as the stats suggest, is abysmal. He has seemed to waste a couple of opportunities for me in that the easy long ball over the top is on for the other striker or for the winger, and he's played it straight into defender or straight into touch, and he does seem to let the team down in that respect. His short passing is fine, as you saw in that clip just then. You can get assists like that absolutely fine, but you can't be expecting him to play any sort of chip through ball over the top or anything like that, because it's just not going to work for him. He's a lot better with his head in that respect than he is with his feet. A bit of advice I'd definitely give about him is he needs an engine. I started using mine with a hunter thinking I'll get that pace so he can get him behind, but he does feel quite clunky without an engine. He needs that extra dribbling boost because he can feel quite lethargic. Once he gets going, he's quick, but off the mark, and especially with the ball at his feet, he can feel quite slow, quite clunky, quite heavy to use, which I guess you'd probably expect from a player 6'2". But yeah, definitely get an engine on him to try and up that awful balance stat and still give him a bit of pace, because he still does need that +5 boost in pace, which will take him to 93. And the dribbling stats start to look a lot healthier with an engine, and he definitely feels a lot more fluid in game as well. I definitely found that. You know, again, as I've said, if you're looking for a player to spin a defender and be gone and being behind and score goals like that, he's not your man. So you can't really expect that of a player like that. But if you want a man who's going to hold the ball up, be really strong, not lose it to defenders coming through the back of him, then he's great for that. But yeah, don't be expecting him to be doing skill moves, turning people and getting in behind, because that's just not the sort of player he is. Another slight irk I have with him is his long shots, as I said earlier, are really poor. With a player like him, he does often receive the ball sort of 20 yards out, and on the odd chance that you are on the turn, he does miss a lot of chances I'd be wanting him to sort of hit the target with. In the box, great, he finishes everything, but anything from that 20 to 30 yard range, you're not really going to get much out of him, and from your striker, maybe you want that. I mean, yeah, look, I keep going back to the same point. All of these things you can work around if you use him in the right way. So with this sort of player, it is very down to the individual whether he's worth it for you or not, depending on how you play FIFA and how you like your strikers to play. I personally have enjoyed using players like September and Ollie Watkins is in form, and that sort of slightly bigger striker. I think that suits how I play quite well, but that's not going to be for everyone. He's definitely the best in the Prem at the moment at that certain type of player. It's just whether you want to go for that or whether you want to go for someone smaller and a bit more agile. The last clip you're going to see has got absolutely nothing to do with Calvert-Lewin, but it's probably the best goal I've scored this year. So sit back and enjoy it. Woo. So to summarise his pros, he's a great finisher. He will score absolutely everything within the box, as I said. Outside the box maybe not, but within the box everything's going in. He's a great hold-up man, won't lose the ball if you use that shield technique and just keep it simple. Fantastic in the air, will score headers. He'll also be a help defensively when defending corners. He'll win so many flick-ons from goal kicks that'll really set you up for an attack. Yeah, as I said, he's got absolutely great stam. You're not going to be needing to change him in the 60th minute of every game. He'll be there running until the end of the match. Cons is long passing, as we said, is really going to let you down in quite a lot of situations. He does feel clunky without that engine on him. He does definitely need that, otherwise he's going to be like a brick. His long shots aren't good enough for the amount of chances he does get in that position, and at 60 to 65k he is quite expensive for the sort of player that he is. There's definitely other options, as I've said. So is he worth it? I would say if you know that's exactly the type of player you want in your team, then yeah, go for it. If you're unsure, it's a bit of a gamble. Maybe try out someone like Ollie Watkins or Seb Haller to see if you do like that sort of player before going and spending all that on him. And that brings me to the end of the video, guys. So if you enjoyed, please leave a like rating and subscribe as well. Thanks for watching.